Whoa. What's going on, everybody? We're on the countdown to the road to Wrestlemania. We're live on a Wednesday night. Is the alert going out there? We'll find out. I think AEW did a pretty good show tonight. I mean, I think, and which is good because they were, really talking about the whole, surpassing the WCW record. So, I think that, if you were to describe, WCW's run on Monday night versus, what we've gotten from AEW and talking about the record here and whatever else, you do have to, I don't have an exact chart for you or anything like that, but I mean, if I was to make up a chart for you about, WCW, AEW, I'd probably write it up a little bit differently, But it was a good show. Pretty good show for AEW tonight, I think. I didn't watch all of it very closely. I was, again, kind of lax in it. But if you were to say WCW, and then you were to say, AEW, and I did my little paint graph drawing that I like to do sometimes, and I put them up against each other, it's like WCW started like this, and then they went up, and then at some point WCW went like this, and then at some point they sort of went like this. AEW went more like this, started way up here and fluctuated. You know what I mean? And then kind of did this. You know what I'm saying? It's like the AEW has been more of a very slow, gradual fall, whereas WCW was like a huge up and coming rising, and then they just plummeted, after that. AEW didn't reach the, if this is like a 10, this is like a 10 right here. You know what I mean? Like this is a 10. This tip up here, that's a 10. AEW started at like an 8. They started at an 8. And then they mostly maintained like a 5. Whereas WCW, man, they maintained like a 9, and then into an 8, into a 7, and then eventually into like a 3, into a 2, and they just, AEW is still at like a 5 or a 4, maybe, but they never reached the heights of WCW, and they never really plummeted. It's this ongoing, continuing kind of slow roll. So anyway, that's not 100% accurate and exactly what I believe, and it's not 100% accurate what I just did, but just very quickly off the top of my head, they're two different stories of how long both were on the air for. Whereas, AEW started with kind of a bang, but nothing crazy, at an 8, maybe even a 7, you could say. WCW reached a 10, within a couple of years, and it was pretty crazy. It's just, AEW has never done what WCW did in its best days, and will never do that, probably, ever, of course. Probably won't. How could you expect that? But, tonight's show, this is a better show to me than, WCW's last shows, a lot of the wrestling was really bad. A lot of the wrestling was really bad. But tonight's AEW was okay. It was an okay show. It was good enough. Good show, little show. At least we saw belts finally. It's not even Moxley's belt, but we did see Moxley get pinned. So figure that out. The champion gets friggin' pinned. I don't know if I would have done that, but okay. The champion gets pinned. Really quickly before we continue on with whatever I'm going to do tonight, for whatever reason, I do want to just kind of lay out my agenda. Kind of, people have been asking me what's up. So the goal is today is Wednesday. I have no plan for tomorrow, being Thursday. I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. I may do some videos. I may do some things, probably on Patreon or regular videos or something. I might go live at some point. So tomorrow is a question mark. I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. No idea. But I do know that Friday night is going to be the Wrestlemania predictions. So I ask everybody that wants to be a part of it, you want to be here Friday night after SmackDown, because that is where the prediction show is going to take place. I refuse to do a prediction show until I see the last episode of SmackDown on Friday night. I've just got to see it. I got to see what they do and what I feel. The Raw shows are useless. The build for almost everything on Monday Night Raw is confusing. Collision's on tomorrow, really? Is Collision really on tomorrow? Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. Maybe I'll do that. But probably not. So Friday night will be a big, predictions, WrestleMania party Friday night. Let's do it. And then, we'll probably cover, I'm going to try to do NXT, because I think Stand and Deliver or Stand and Quiver or whatever they call the NXT show now. It's not what it used to be called. I don't know what it's called now. I think it's something like that. Stand and Deliver or All Eyes on Us or some name that's weird. They do that, I think, in the daytime sometimes, so I'll probably maybe cover that. I don't know. There's a potential that I'm going to be live during WrestleMania doing reactions to WrestleMania as well. I don't know. We put up like a goal thing to have fun with that, so we'll know by the end of Friday night if I'm doing that or not. I let you guys decide that. That's up to you. We put up a poll a couple of days ago in the last 2 streams we did, and the poll has actually gone nowhere, so I don't know so it's not looking good if you want that. But the poll is there. We're at 13% of the poll, or at the goal. It's not a poll, it's a goal. Sorry, guys. I'm kind of brain dead today, if you can't tell. Had a lot of whatever. So anyway, I'm brain dead today, but there it is. So yeah, potentially we'll be live during the WrestleMania Night 1, but if we don't hit the goal, I'll be live during Night 1 and then Night 2 after WrestleMania. So we'll be doing the post show of WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2 right here. Things, like I said, could change depending on what happens with that. Friday night's the predictions. And, it's going to be it's going to be, as always, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be, tomorrow night, SmackDown review / WrestleMania predictions. Saturday is going to be NXT, then potentially the WrestleMania reaction, then for sure the WrestleMania reaction. Then night 2, we might do a WrestleMania predictions or reaction. I don't know which one or both. And then Monday night is going to be the Monday Night Raw review, Night After Mania, which has been kind of disappointing for a while now, but we'll see what happens. And then probably Tuesday is our break. Tuesday is the collapse period where I finally pass out, where I finally sleep, or whatever you want to say. That's usually what happens there. I'll be making videos and shorts and things like that, probably to start during WrestleMania with some reactions and takes and things like that. So follow me there. Follow my shorts. Make sure you keep an eye out for those, because I'm going to try to kind of be promoting and staying, engaged in those things. And that's right. Easter's on Sunday, so that is kind of ridiculous. So Sunday is friggin' Easter. So I don't even know what to say about that. Like, is that happen a lot? I don't even remember that happening ever. So all I know is this. My kids are going to be up really early probably for the Easter Bunny stuff. And I'm going to be maybe in a coma. I don't know. Because it really depends on WrestleMania. If there's not a lot to talk, like let's say there's not a lot to talk about at WrestleMania, right? Not a lot, seemingly there's not a lot to talk about. And people aren't like calling up like crazy all night or donating like crazy all night or something like that. Well, then maybe I'll get sleep and that won't be that bad. But if night one is crazy and people are calling the show, there's so much to talk about, it's crazy, and maybe like donations are actually coming in like crazy or something, then we could be up, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., I don't know. Phone calls are nonstop, I don't know. And if that's the case, what the hell is Easter going to look like? I'm going to be in a coma. Like I might just stay up and hide down here from the Easter Bunny away from the, the living room so I can just be up for that. And then at that point, after, the coast is clear, the Easter Bunny's gone, and then after the kids all open stuff, then I'll probably go to sleep. I might miss NXT then at that point. I don't know. Trying to sleep in time to wake up for Mania. I don't know. I mean, it's just crazy. Also, if you're a Last Epoch fan, the Last Epoch new season expansion thing starts, I think, tomorrow as well.
Shows for over
if you're in the
years.
AARPGs.
Never in all that time have I ever felt until last Sunday.
Oh, shit.
That my security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
Urgent top priority number 1 donation of the month.
Ooh.
In the WrestleMania 9 special they made them watch their old matches on little Game Boys. And Shawn Michaels was in his underwear, no wonder he's so gay. Don't forget to honor our pact to only say WW.
That is pretty crazy, Doomed, huh? Doomed, thank you, man. Thank you so much, brother. Thanks for the $3. I didn't even put the donation link up. I'm sorry, bro. Thank you for donating live to the show to make me feel like I'm actually alive and worth something. Thank you, Doomed, huh? Thank you, bro. Dono link. Let me put it down below. There it is. Sorry, I had major issues with my computer today, brother. Pin it to the top. And that poll that's useless. I don't know why that poll's still there. Thank you. There's the pinned donation link if you want to. There it is. Yeah, I still haven't finished the WrestleMania 9 documentary. I was really looking forward to it, but so far I haven't seen too much new footage. It's just a lot of the old 20, 30 minutes of footage that they always had. And it seems like they're expanding upon it with story. But I'm still waiting to see more new footage. I think that Shawn Michaels shot of his balls in his underwear, I think that was new. I don't think I've ever seen that. And trust me, I was paying attention to that. Because, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Who doesn't want to see that? I mean, we all know I do. What was I saying? I don't remember. What was I saying? I don't know. Anyway, so predictions for WrestleMania will be Friday night. I know it's a weird time to do them. And then probably what I'm going to do is like re-upload them and condense them and upload them again into like a 10-minute video or like my flash rundown of predictions. So I'll give you predictions Friday Night Live on the show, but then I'll probably put out a little video about predictions that will pop up in the morning on Saturday because there's going to be a lot going on. Let's see. I'm just a sexy boy. That's true. Louis Urdaneta, how you doing? Saturday is NXT Stand and Deliver. Yeah, exactly. So I'll probably miss that. I don't know. And Sunday, yeah, because Saturday is going to be so nuts. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, so I had the wrong day. So, yeah, I won't miss Stand and Deliver because Friday night is nothing. So, yeah, so Stand and Deliver is Saturday, so that'll be fine. Wake up, do a quick video on WrestleMania, watch Stand and Deliver, do a review on Stand and Deliver.
I've been going to wrestling shows for
get ready for
30
WrestleMania.
Years. Never in all that time have I ever felt until last Sunday that my security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
Hey Joe, Grimm's toy show ended up getting another divorce. He was pretty much the one that wanted the divorce. Do you think he made the right decision?
Yeah, probably because that fat pig probably cheated on him with somebody that he knows. That's my guess. So either that or she has a baby he doesn't know about or who knows what, bro. That chick was an elephant. So, and listen, let me tell you something else. That dude is a sick person. So, what are you going to do? 2 divorces? That sucks, bro. If it's all real, and I don't know what is, but it seems like it is, that sucks, man. I mean, after the first divorce, though, I'm done. That first girl leaves you, the girl he was with for 10 years or whatever it was, had his children and everything. Fuck that. I ain't getting married again. I mean, I might get married to some young chick like Bill Belichick. I might do that and throw my life away even more because at that point, F it. I want my new whore to get all my money instead of my wife if I had all that money. I'd be like, you know what? I'm going to marry some young bitch, and then that way if something happens to me, she gets half, and the old one doesn't get anything. I want this one to suck me dry and be happy. By the time she's 35, she's going to be living up life, retired, Yeah, she's got to sleep with old balls Belichick, and she's 22 years old or something. But, what Belichick's going to be dead in, 20 years, right? Or committed to a home or something. What is Belichick, 70? Yeah, he's 70. So the chances of Belichick living another 30 years are not good. Belichick living another 10 years, probably pretty good. 15 years, borderline, right? So, let's say 15 years before he has to hit the home, right? I mean, that's 85 years old. 85 years old, he's going to start to become out of commission. And at that point, you can take control of the estate and all the other stuff. So by 35 years old, theoretically, by 35 years old, you're done. Retired. It's beaches and Baywatch and your life's content, desire. You got $100 million in the bank or $50 million in the bank, whatever it is. Belichick's either dead or in the nursing home, and that's it. And you either get a divorce or you just, you ride it out with the guy if you really care, right? And it's like an agreed exchange, when he becomes maybe they got an agreement hey, listen, you can't cheat on me until I become infertile or whatever you call it, right? So let's say it's 78, Bill Belichick can no longer pump the iron, if you know what I mean. Well, at that point, he now allows her, hey, listen, honey, it doesn't work anymore. So per our agreement, you can go out and do whatever and meet people and whatever, just stay loyal to me somewhat and love me and everything. And we're good. And that maybe that's what happens, so she goes out and does whatever. And then by the time he dies, she's found a guy she she loves, whatever. And he's kind of called Uncle Bill, Uncle Daddy Bill. She even says it to the guy. She goes, man, I love you, and whatever, and we have all this because you'll never have to work again either, sweetie. Just come live with me in Uncle Daddy Bill's mansion, and you'll be my new daddy. And it's what an exchange of a life, You're rich, you're with a young guy now that's good looking like you, and you guys live, and maybe you have a couple of babies, and it was all possible because you rode Belichick's beef stick, That's crazy. You only got 5 to 15 years to deal with it. I think that it was kind of Ivanka's idea with Trump, right? But he just won't die, and then the guy's running for president. That bitch has to be crazy pissed. I really believe that she's got to be mad, or is she really she could really love him? I don't know. Hard for me to believe that, but if it is, I feel bad that I doubt it. But I just picture her being God damn, he won't go. He's getting better. What the hell's going on? And now he's the president again. What the hell? She might actually just start really loving him if she didn't before, because she's damn, this is hot. This is attractive. This guy's crazy. Unless he's a limp sausage, which I can't, he's got to be, right? I can't even imagine what he does. What the hell can Trump, what can he do? In bed, what can he do? I just can't picture him doing much movement. I picture him kind of laying there and going go do it, just get on with it, figure it out. Make it move. I don't know, what can he? So that's the issue I have is I can't imagine him actually thrusting. You know what I mean? But what a dream for her. Yeah, some people it could be worse. You could marry people and get divorced 3 times and your life sucks and you're poor. Hell, I'll take it. I've said it a million times, man. Is there any old men out there looking for a dude? I shave my face. I look like a young guy, Shave my face. I'll be your fucking whore, and I'll fly out to California, North Carolina, wherever you are. I'll tell my wife I'm doing traveling sales, and you give me 12, 15, 20,000 a month, I'll be your goddamn butler, for Christ's sake. And I'll be like, honey, I'm about to close a deal, honey. Little does she know I'm being covered in men's private stuff. You know, but no, I'm out there selling some deals. And I'm like, wow, I closed another one. We sold 30 airplanes, honey. You know, meanwhile I'm being cornholed all over the place. And yeah, I would look like a hero. So any of you rich guys out there, 50 million, 100 million, and you got to keep it on the down low or whatever, I'm your guy. Okay? I might be 40, but I can look 30, I think. So 28 maybe. So let's do it. You just have to have a lot of money, you know? And you got to give me a lot of it. That's all. And I won't say anything. And maybe disclose if you have any problems.
Hollywood is cooking. It's cooking babies. Adrenochrome, brandy and Cody. Your mix, baby, will do. So give me the both of you. The Rock wants your soul. Then the Rock.
It's Moss Blaze. He's another one that mismonetized this. Uh-oh. The Rock.
Smoke Up Joe. Missed monetize this 500, been around since before 100. What an accomplishment.
That's crazy.
The wild nights and craziness I lived for. Happy Mania week. Will Tony Khan send Moxley for Mania? It's the rumor. What you think?
Will Tony Khan send Moxley for Mania? It's the rumor. Wow. I'll honestly, that would... I don't think so. To see Moxley at WrestleMania for some reason, that would shock me more than seeing Cody Rhodes return to WWE. So I don't think so. But yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. Maybe, I mean, that would be, why would they do that? And I just can't see them doing that. Yeah, that would be very shocking, though. Moss Blaze, man, I'm sorry you missed monetize this. I wish you were here for that, man. A lot of people missed it, you know what I mean? But I don't know what's up with that. But I do know that monetize this did get a lot of views. I mean, we got more views. Monetize this 500 ended up getting more views than monetize this 400. And, theoretically, I had more viewership at 400 and 300 than 500, yet 500 did better. So the biggest bullshit of monetize this 500, I mean, aside from some of the people who were like, for like 6 months, were like, I'm going to drop bombs on this show, it's going to be nuts, and then none of them showed up. It's not even that. The biggest travesty of monetize this 500 was Dork Knight getting prime thumbnail real estate and delivering almost zero. He called up from a casino where he didn't really seemingly care to be on the show, and you couldn't hear his girlfriend talking really, and you couldn't hear him, and he didn't really say anything, and he looked miserable. I mean, I think Dork Knight's appearance on Monetize This 500, after surviving not going to jail, I think it honestly was one of the biggest disappointments and bullshit fucking lies that I've heard in a long time. I mean, obviously there were so many people that were like, and listen, you don't have to do anything on Monetize. You don't have to do anything at all for me at all. But like, when you spend months saying, wait till Monetize This 500, wait till Monetize This 500, I got to be honest, it kind of pissed me off from a lot of people. From people saying that they were going to donate to me, donate to Luke, donate to this person. None of those people showed up. You know what I mean? At least Seabass the Beast said he got hacked or something, he wouldn't be donating. But the guy was like, I'm saving because I'm going to blow it away on whatever.
New subscriber.
So many people. Aiden Boss, thanks for subbing to the channel, man. What's up? But yeah, so many people promised all this crazy shit for months and then did nothing. And some of them weren't even here. And then a lot of them went out of the way to say, I won't be there. And I was like, what? Like, you're the one that, what the fuck is going on here? Is weird. But like none other. But one of the biggest examples of that. I mean, for Christ's sake, my wife came on the show. And she doesn't love to come on that much anymore all the time. She comes on once in a while, you know, and has a good time here or there. And that's fine. But, like, she showed up sick. My wife was miserably sick. She would have been happy just playing video games with the headphones on or a computer, just calmly, you know, being sick and trying with a headache and a sinus infection, bronchitis, and everything she has. And she came on the show somewhat to, like, and granted, she didn't do much. She just kind of sat there and she didn't look like she could really, you know, she was like suffering to be here. But she wanted to kind of be here, I think, for me. But whatever. But like Dork Knight got prime real estate on the thumbnail, and this fucking guy did nothing. He didn't do something silly. He didn't do something weird. He didn't even utter a word that was audible on Monetize This, and yet they called the show from a casino where he seemingly didn't give a shit. But Dork Knight, if you go back and you listen back to all the Monetize Thises of the past 15 weeks, 20 weeks, this guy would pop in and constantly say, wait till Monetize This, 500, you know, save it for 500 or whatever for 500 or wait till that, but I might be in jail, I don't know. Oh, no, I'm not in jail, but you might as well have been in fucking jail, Dork Knight. Dork Knight, you might as well have been in jail. And it's not about, you know, oh, Dork Knight could have been here to make people mad and they would have donated against him or donated or whatever. It's not even about the donations with Dork Knight. I don't care about that. I just wanted him to be here to be part of the show. And he really wasn't. And that's too bad that he wasn't a bigger part of the show. You know, even if he was on for 15, 20 minutes and he said some things and did some things, it would have been nice to have that character on the show and that person that we all either hate or enjoy to have said something of substance, but literally the guy delivered zero. He delivered zero. You know what I mean? No, Bullfrog was on Monetize This, Moss Blaze. I mean, Bullfrog returning is the biggest thing that happened. Bullfrog returned on Monetize This 500 to tell us that this fucking guy... he thinks he's been talking to Jackie Redmond. Bullfrog thinks he's talking to WWE's Jackie Redmond and that she's going to give him front row tickets to a WWE event, and now she's backing out of it. And he DM'd me to tell me this. And we're trying to explain to Bullfrog that it's a scam, you idiot. And then he's talking about, I've got to get a hold of Triple H to figure this out. You know? So anyway, the Bullfrog thing on Monetize This 500 is, I mean, that's classic. That is a classic moment. That is a classic Monetize This type of thing to happen. And so you got to give Bullfrog credit. Even though Dork Knight completely was missing in action, you know, he goes, I looked her up on Skype. I looked her up on Skype. Oh, man, Bullfrog. And Moss Blaze, I don't even think he knows that the Bullfrog was on based on what he's saying in the chat. Isn't Dork the one that sleeps with his kids? Well, kind of. Like, he's the one that, like, yells at his kids and says they're ugly, but some of them are hot. Yeah, he's that guy. So, yeah, he was kind of a failure. But Bullfrog was in rare Bullfrog form on Monetize This 500, so... And then, man, I'll tell you, Z-Pain was dropping bombs. So, and that was crazy. And a lot of people were donating. So it was a lot of fun. Lots of donations from a lot of different people. And then Z-Pain dropping bombs. And Moss Blaze, you're the biggest donator tonight. So let's put you up on the board. Let's see. But yeah, I thought AEW was okay. Moss Blaze. AEW was all right tonight. It wasn't. I don't think it was anything wild and good, but it was good. Like, it was okay. Watch. I think you can watch. It was better than Raw. I had more fun watching AEW than Raw. So that's right there. I mean, that's a win for all of us. If you watched it, that's all I want. Is I want something that's worth it, to watch, somewhat worth it to watch. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you want. It was fun. We did not hear from Seth, no. But he's watching probably. He's on the Patreon. Big dog on the Patreon. But he probably was watching. We don't usually hear from him though too much. He's kind of like, you never know. You never know when he's going to lurk and pop up. It's sort of like, it would be like, wouldn't it be so predictable if he had been here? I mean, Sith is more like, you don't know when he could show up at some point. You never know. You know what I mean? That's sort of his thing. I think it would have been very predictable for him to show up and do that. You know what I mean? Think of how crazy it will be when he kind of comes out of nowhere someday, if he ever does again. But just you wondering about it is interesting. So there you go. And D. Welsh said he couldn't be here. That's why the week before he was dropping bombs the week before. Because he went out with his girl to some cool thing. I forget, some concert or whatever. And by the way, I saw the pictures of D. Welsh with his girlfriend at the concert he went to. So, hey man, the guy's with a girl, like that girl has ruined one of our top donators. Like, if there's anybody out there that knows how to chloroform people, let me know, because I'm going to find her. And we're going to get D. Welsh back real quick, okay? She's going to go out of a plane. That's it. We got D. Welsh back. I'm just kidding. That'd be crazy. That's a movie right there. That's a great idea for a movie. There's a YouTuber or a streamer or an influencer. There's an influencer out there, right? And he gets these... Oh, it's a girl. Even better. It's this bimbo girl. And she gets all these donations, and she makes like $3,000 to $5,000 a month on donations. But there's this one guy who donates like $20,000 to her a month. He's like a simp guy, and he's donating $20,000 to this big-breasted, cam bitch on YouTube. And all of a sudden, one of his last donations comes in, and he says, my love, it's been my pleasure, supporting you for all these years. But I've found someone special in real life, which is amazing for me, and I'll be stepping away or whatever. But thank you, for all the entertainment, and I've always enjoyed you. And she's like, oh, thank you. And then she's like, oh, wait a minute, what the fuck? And previous times she gave the guy her address, and she was worried he was going to kill her. And she's telling her friend, and her friend's like, you shouldn't have done that. Get a P.O. box like everybody. But he donates so much, and it's unbelievable. He's a stalker. He's going to kill you. And they're doing all this stuff, whatever. And then he leaves that message, and now she's like, oh my God, I just bought this big house, and I've got these cars, and oh my God, I only make $3,000-$4,000 now a month. And this guy used to be, every $20,000 every month. And so then she's like looking him up, and she knows his address, and then they're talking, and then she hires a detective to spy on the guy and finds out the girlfriend that he's with for real, and he's really dating her, and she's like, son of a bitch. So she has or she or her friend, or she has somebody try to kill the woman that the guy's dating so that he'll come back to the show with her. Bro, this is a crazy movie. Let's start writing this right now. What do we call it? What do you call that movie? You could just call it. Could you call it like Influencer? Revenge of an Influencer. Influencer is the biggest, most fucked up term ever, but it's true. But it's like, it's just such a douchebag name. Like if I would never want to be called that. I would be like, don't you fucking call me that. But that's what like the Instagram bitches with the makeup are. They're like influencers, or the people who just push products. It's like, well, that's an influencer because they can influence their audience to buy a steel dildo. But yeah, no, anyway, we should get back to wrestling. But that's a great idea for a movie. Subscribe now. It could be called donation. You know what I mean? Or a live alert or something like that. I don't know. We got to come up with something better, but it could be really good. It's a great idea. I love this idea. Oh, man. And then so she kills the girlfriend to get him back. But eventually he finds out or something. So he comes to, I don't know, he comes to kill her? Or maybe then she tries to actually marry him for his money. I don't know. 50 Shades of Welsh. Revenge of the Influencer. From Himmelgod to Z-Pain. What's up, Moss Blaze? Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it was really Himmelgod to Sith Negan, but Z-Pain is yes, taken over. Where's Z-Pain on the list of shit right now? He's way up there. Yeah, if we hit the goal by Saturday afternoon, if we hit the goal here, we're at 5%. So that's not looking good, but we do have the goal moving a little bit. If we hit that goal, I will stream all of Mania. Let's see, all of Mania Night 1 at least, rather. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Z-Pain's up there, bro. He's blowing everybody away. Look at that. Can you imagine if there was no Z-Pain? Monetize this 500 would have been pretty thin. You know? I feel like people didn't, a lot of people didn't really care too much as you would think about Monetize this 500. But, I mean, it was a huge night, though. I mean, Z-Pain dropped like $1,200 or something. Look at that. Z-Pain is blowing everyone away. That's crazy. Z-Pain number 1 by a lot. D. Welsh number 2, 325. The Creeders right behind Welsh. Nick B, Tim Drake, Randy Viper. Spectral Citizen, Louis Urdaneta. E-Man. Leah's sister's on there, 10th. That's kind of bizarre. See, that's a weird list right there. That's a different list of people right there. I mean, Welsh is there like always. One way or another, Welsh always finds his way onto this list somehow. People rag on him and stuff still and say, oh, where's Welsh and whatever. But he still makes the top 5 like every month.
Shit bomb.
Pretty crazy.
Knock, knock. Who's there? Gabe Owners.
Oh, I don't know what that means, but Dark Sider. Thank you, Dark Sider. Once upon an influencer. That's a great one. Dark Sider, thank you for becoming a $5 shit bum. Thank you, brother. I wish they would abolish the IRS. That would be great. That would be great. I think Swerve tonight got a big pop when he hopped over the barricade. It was really cool, man. And Allison Tuckwab, yeah, she did not make the list this month so far, but she does super chats. So we should shout out to Allison Tuckwab because she is in the top 5 for sure. She just isn't on the list because it's all super chat. When Swerve Strickland jumped over the barricade, man, the crowd really went crazy. They were like, let's go. And then unfortunately he threw the Young Bucks like gently over the barricade. He should have launched them over the barricade. Like it should have been crazy when he chucked them over the barricade. Or they should have gone crashing into a table or something like that. And it really wasn't that big a deal. So, it should have been more of like a horrific attack. Where's Allison? We don't really know where Allison really ever is, do we? You know what I mean? A couple of weeks ago, or last week, Allison dropped a couple of Hyundai bombs. But yeah, they don't make it to the leaderboard because they're super chats. Monetize this 500 was one of the craziest and awesome monetize this is, in my opinion. Cheers to 600. Yeah, we'll see what happens if we ever make 600. But, I mean, hey, 500 was a success. I mean, so that's good news. That means there's value to keep doing the show every Saturday night, And honestly, the week before was a big week, too. The monetize this $4.99 did pretty damn good. And in the end, I think 500 might have beat it out, but they were close. So I'll take that, man. That's not bad. That was a fun time. And monetize this 500 got more views than monetize this 400. So I'd take that as a win too. Monetized this 500 is approaching 6,000 views. Monetized this 400 is 4,900 views. So, hey man, I'll consider that a win. And I also think monetized this 500 actually, it might have made more money too. I'm not sure on that, but I'll post those numbers for you guys if you're interested, because that's a fun thing to be interested in, I suppose. WrestleMania, what are you guys looking forward to? Let me know in the chat. WrestleMania news, WrestleMania matches, what are we looking forward to? What do you want to see? And then in the chat, if you want, let me know what you're looking forward to on Friday Night SmackDown. What are you looking forward to see there? What do you want to see? What did you think of AEW tonight? What do you think about wrestling in general? Whatever you want to talk about. It's just, write it in the chat. Sure, you can donate it if you want. You don't have to donate, but you'd be helping me out if you do, but you don't have to. You can super chat if you want. You can become a member. Whatever you want to do. It's all on the table tonight. Feel free to do it, and I'll react to it in any way I can. Yeah, I think that I enjoyed watching AEW better than Raw. Raw put me to sleep this week. Really was annoying to me. And I know that AEW hasn't been doing the best either. They haven't been doing a great job. But, I mean, if you can at least, at least I don't know what's going on and it feels like it's kind of fun. That's all I care about. I mean, sometimes a train wreck is better than a predictable, something predictable. Like a beautiful train going by, or a plain old train going by every day. It's like you look at it and you go, yep, there's that train, I guess. But then sometimes a train crashes and blows up and you go, holy shit. That's what AEW does sometimes. Even though they might be a runaway train wreck, you stop and you go, holy shit, like, what is this? But WWE on Monday night didn't make me go, wow, look at this. And it didn't make me go, oh, wait, I can't wait till WrestleMania. It just made me go, yep, this is the mail-it-in cookie cutter. Okay. They didn't make me feel much of anything. And at least AEW sometimes makes me angry, or sometimes makes me go, what the hell was that? But even that is better than feeling nothing. So AEW did all right tonight. And yeah, somebody posted the other day, and I tweeted this out, and they said, the Jade Cargill and Naomi is the first ever one-on-one singles women's match at WrestleMania for not a belt. So basically, the first ever non-title, non-stipulation match between two women at WrestleMania, which is a weird stat, a weird thing to keep track of, but there's never been a woman versus a woman in a singles match with no stipulation, just wrestling each other. That is a weird stat, but crazy if that's true, and it seems like it's true. That's crazy. So every other match has been like, bra panties or a ladder match, or there's the belts on the line or something like that, but there's never been a singles match, non-title, with no stipulation. I mean, that's interesting. I'm surprised they didn't throw some racial thing in there too, because that's what they normally do. At least that's what some people normally do. But no, I guess that's true, I suppose. I was trying to think of matches, and yeah, I guess not. Crazy. It's pretty crazy. Wild. Thank you to Darksider for the 5 earlier. Moss Blaze is the top dono. Thank you to Moss Blaze. BLM March. What? Jesus. Ryback's return. I don't think so, but that would be pretty crazy. Wouldn't you like to see Ryback return and attack Punk? That'd be great. Hopefully Mania can deliver. Yeah, I mean, it's not been a... we used to do this years ago with WrestleMania, I feel like. Do you guys remember that? It's like we're back to the old days. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, last year was so much better, but people complained about this last year too. Like, let's not lie about that. People did complain last year. We did. We were like, oh, it's cooling down and whatever. We kind of went through this same pattern, but this year has been worse. Like, it's been worse for sure. But it used to be... But the 3 years before these last 2 years, it was even worse. The Mania build was like, whatever, let's just get to Mania. And that's like, we would say that all the time, like, okay, whatever, this isn't good. Let's just get to WrestleMania. And we're still saying that now. But last year had that element of The Rock as this super boss villain guy. And there was something about that was really cool. And every time you thought things were dead or done, it would come back. And so for those reasons, it was cool. But now we're pretty stuck on things at this point. And we've really got nowhere left to go. This is the last week. It's already too late to feel like the week-to-week, build-up has been good, fun, or interesting. That's already over. The chances of that happening are already done. So there's nothing you can do about it now. I mean, even if SmackDown were pretty good, I mean, it's already done. I mean, SmackDown happens the day before WrestleMania. So, if you put on a really good SmackDown and do something really cool, it's like, well, that's great, but it gets the benefit of leading right into WrestleMania anyway. So it's not keeping us busy and keeping us happy from week to week to week, leading into building this momentum to WrestleMania. It feels like the building to WrestleMania really was just kind of like, here's the Royal Rumble. Okay, wow, crazy. Okay, here's some build, whatever. Okay, Elimination Chamber. Wow, Elimination Chamber was insane. And John Cena's heel. Oh, my God, Monday night. I can't wait to see what happens. Oh, that's okay. Let's go. Something's happening. What the hell, man? His soul or whatever, but what's up with that? I don't know. Okay, that's it. Cena just comes out and does the same thing over and over again. Okay, going to WrestleMania. That's it. And I think people wanted more from all of it. And I know that Triple H and some of the people in WWE might be frustrated with those fans that think that or say that, or it's just like, hey man, let us cook or whatever. Wait till Mania. I know that they have those thoughts of like, man, the fans are impatient and stuff like that, but they legitimately feel this way. The fans, people are legitimately feeling this way. I think the truth is in the middle. I think yes. People are always complaining and they're always whatever bitching about things, and it's never going to be enough. It's never going to be perfect. People are always going to wonder, complain, and whatever the hell. But there is legitimately a beef, that this could have been better. It really could have. The hype at Elimination Chamber night, when Elimination Chamber went off the air, the hype for WrestleMania was like a 9 out of 10, in my opinion. And Monday night, the following night on Monday Night Raw, the hype was about an 8 or 9 by the end of the night. By the end of Raw, it was about an 8 or a 9, maybe an 8. And by the next week's Monday Night Raw, when it ended, the hype slowed down a little bit even more, back down to a 7. And then over the last couple of weeks since then, the hype has dropped down to a 6. And nothing has picked it up. Nothing. And Monday Night Raw has passed, and the hype is at an all-time low. Where I would think you'd want the hype to start building and building and building until the last couple of weeks where it's like ready to pop off. That's what happened at WrestleMania 14. You think about WrestleMania 14 with Stone Cold and DX and that championship match. That hype was so ready to explode by WrestleMania 14. You think about so many other examples that the hype was so crazy by that Mania, and then Ric Flair and the Macho Man, that personal vendetta at WrestleMania 8, to the point of the night of where they announced they're going to show a picture of Miss Elizabeth up on the Jumbotron naked or something, and Ric Flair's being nasty. It's one of the greatest, most heel fucking rivalry, personal rivalry, just you son of a bitch. Macho Man Randy Savage and Ric Flair at WrestleMania 8 is so good. If you didn't even know about the feud, or you didn't even know about what was going on with them, and you just watch WrestleMania 8 from the beginning to the end, and you make sure to watch all the moments when they cut to Ric Flair and Mr. Perfect, and they cut to Macho Man throughout the night, and then you watch the Macho Man, Mr. Perfect, and rather Ric Flair match, you are like, it is so hyped up and that crowd is ready to explode on that shit. It is so good. But yeah, right now the hype is droned down quite a bit. And that doesn't mean that WrestleMania won't be good. Again, WrestleMania could be really, really good. And all you're going to remember is, Elimination Chamber where John Cena turned heel. You're going to remember the Travis Scott thing and like how The Rock said he wants your soul. And then you're going to remember WrestleMania. You're not going to remember the 5 weeks, 6 weeks of build to WrestleMania before that. You're going to remember, like, I don't really remember it. I remember Cena coming out and saying, a generic promo kind of, but that was it. But if they'd built on more stuff and the soul thing and, that sort of thing, you would have remembered that if they'd done things like interesting. You're not going to remember anything. I'd argue you might even remember El Grande American or whatever the fuck his name is more than this. In the build-up, at least. So, and that's probably because, these people are part-timers. Your main event, biggest moment, biggest thing that you're doing, and your biggest build leading to WrestleMania is being done by people that can't be here every week. And that's probably part of the problem. But honestly, if I was in charge, I don't know why we couldn't have pitched something that was more exciting and memorable. Like, hey, let's do something a lot more memorable than this. Why don't we make the Hollywood Cult? Why don't we do that? Why don't we do The Rock's Hollywood Cult? We have Travis Scott come out there, a couple other guys, and it's the Hollywood Cult. Cena's Cult or Cult of Cena. That would have been cool. Like, and what if a couple of the wrestlers in the back wanted to become Hollywood celebrities, and they were like, I'll do anything, John, whatever, man. Hey, man, listen, I'll give you whatever you want, and they were there to kind of attack Cody over the weeks, and they were working for Cody in The Rock and Cody and this big thing about getting them into the Hollywood picture. And John Cena said, maybe I got some movie ideas, man. I could tell people about you. You along for the ride, dude? And they're like, absolutely, man. Hey, whatever, bro. I just had a kid, that sort of thing. I've been a fan of you, that sort of thing. Well, good. So that's what we're going to do, and then, so what the hell is Cena doing backstage with Matthew Garrett? Like, this is Cena's almost recruiting right now in the backstage area. It's almost like a cult of Cena that's happening, some kind of poison throughout the WWE locker room now where Cena's influencing younger talent. They don't know any better. They don't give a damn. They think Cena's going to actually do something for him. Well, Cole, maybe he would if they sell their soul to Cena. And it becomes this whole like poison pattern, and Cena's influencing the back, and then those guys jump Cody Rhodes in the weight room. And they start doing crazy stuff for Cena because there's all these obsessed younger WWE stars that grew up watching Cena. And they're younger than Cody Rhodes. So they're not fans of Cody Rhodes. They were fans of John Cena, and they're loyal to him. And they want to be movie stars. And they want to make money. And they want to impress their hero, who is John Cena. John, man, I know you. I know the real you, man. You did my friend's Make-A-Wish. Or someone I knew's Make-A-Wish. When I was a kid, I looked up to you. I'm 21 now. I'm here in the WWE. Or I'm 24 now. I'm in the WWE. Whatever. Like, listen, man. I understand how you feel, man. Those people hate me too. They hate me. And so 2 years they've hated me in this company. You're the reason why I'm here. And it's this cultivation that Cena's doing in the back, putting this cult of Cena through the backstage locker room on these influential young talents, and then Michael Cole can cut a big promo on commentary like, absolutely ridiculous. Somebody's got to do something back there. I don't know if it's Triple H or somebody to realize what's going on. John Cena is influencing younger talent that don't know any better, that grew up watching him, and they love him, and they think they're doing the right thing by supporting whatever the hell it is he's doing. And all it is he wants the title from Cody Rhodes. He doesn't care how he gets it. If he doesn't care how bad Cody Rhodes is softened up before WrestleMania, beaten up, attacked in a locker room, attacked in the back. It's all part of the plan. John Cena's desperate. Go look at John Cena's WrestleMania record. Go look at John Cena's wrestling record over the last 5 years. Okay? And then that's when you'll realize that there's something about Cena that's desperate, that's dying inside, desperate to break a record by a legend like Ric Flair. He'll never do it, and he's obsessed with it, and apparently he'll do anything to do it and to get that record, including influencing and using younger talent like this in the back. And based off what The Rock has done to him, it's not that unlikely that this is something that he couldn't accomplish, and Cody Rhodes is up against it. Hello? Disco said you're suspended for a week. That's funny. I'm going to suspend Disco from eating anymore. Fucking, he's starting to look like fucking Papa Daddy Boy. I don't think I emailed them. Phenomenal Ace. The part-time stuff? The part-time stuff is out of control. Yeah, it's an unfortunate, reality of the business, of the entertainment business now. I mean, it's great. I just dumped water all over myself. I mean, it's great that the wrestlers can get to that point and that they can be involved the way they are. But it's also, it is what it is. But, quite honestly, you could argue that I'm surprised Cena did as much as he's done, right? Cena could have just done the Elimination Chamber thing, shown up the night after at Raw, shown up at another Raw, and that's it. Or maybe one other time. John Cena showed up 3 Raws in a row and is now showing up this Friday night, right, on SmackDown, I believe. So, I wonder if on SmackDown, The Rock and John Cena and everybody are going to show up to have that one last moment before WrestleMania. I don't know. I'm not sure. But it is weird that he's going to be on the Go Home to WrestleMania SmackDown show Friday night. So that's big. So, he arguably, if you were to say, how many times do you think John Cena will be on Raw or SmackDown before WrestleMania, knowing that he's John Cena now the way he is? And I would have said, well, we'll be lucky if we get him twice, right? Maybe 2 or 3 times. Honestly, I think he should be on every week, or at least almost maybe 5 or 6 times would be really good. But in reality, probably 2 or 3 times. Well, the reality is you're going to get him 4 times. And so that's not the worst. It was surprising that Cena was like Cena on an international tour outside of the U.S. We got John Cena back to back to back, right? And now we're back in the U.S. and he's only going to be showing up in the last SmackDown before WrestleMania. So send the part-timers to El Salvador. A double turn can happen. Yeah, I mean, there's a possibility that Cena loses. There is a possibility that John Cena loses, and he walks away a loser, and then The Rock enters the ring, and The Rock and Travis Scott and a bunch and maybe some other people jump in the ring, and they just start beating down Cody Rhodes. Right? They're beating Cody Rhodes down, and they're beating the shit out of him. There is a possibility that Cena turns around, jumps in the ring, and goes after The Rock and turns, right? And maybe that leads to John Cena holding up Cody Rhodes' hand, and that's it. It's over. John's heel run is already over, and that's it. There is a possibility that John Cena loses, and then John Cena, The Rock, and more beat up Cody Rhodes. And they all just start beating the shit out of Cody Rhodes after Cody wins. And then there is a possibility that Stone Cold Steve Austin comes out to sort of help. And he goes after Cena. He goes after The Rock. Maybe Cody gets up at that point and helps. And then it goes Stone Cold and Cody. Or, like I said before, if you really wanted to get shocking and crazy, Stone Cold could come out. The music hits. Stone Cold hits the ring. Out goes The Rock. Out goes Cena. And then Stone Cold just stuns Cody Rhodes. And Stone Cold is part of the John Cena and The Rock group. And it's Rock, Stone Cold, Cody Rhodes, Rock, Stone Cold, Cena, and those three. And Cody won, but now for some reason Stone Cold's involved. That makes less sense, and I don't know where you go from there after that. And it ends on a bad note then for WrestleMania, right? Because WrestleMania ends with Cody won, but what the hell, Stone Cold Steve Austin is part of the Rock and Cena thing, and you wish somebody good on commentary would be going, Stone Cold sold his soul. He sold his damn soul. We've already heard that before, though, when he turned on with Vince McMahon, so that would be kind of redundant. So you don't really want that because people don't like to hate Stone Cold, so I don't think that's going to happen. In my opinion, I don't think that's going to happen anymore because it's just so crazy. It's I don't think you need it. I think it would be better for Stone Cold to be helping Cody, and then it would send WrestleMania off in a good light. You're putting over Cody even more. Stone Cold is there. Stone Cold raises his hand. The Stone Cold music is playing. Then after a few minutes of them celebrating, have a couple of beers, Stone Cold's music turns off. Cody Rhodes' music turns on. They raise hands again. Austin leaves the ring. Cody celebrates. The Rock has been beaten up with John Cena as well. And Stone Cold and Cody are standing good in the ring, that sort of thing. That's most likely what I would more expect to happen at WrestleMania. But again, then there's your other option of, well, what if Cena wins? What if Cena wins? And yeah, you could have Cena win and then The Rock beat up Cody and then Cena jumps in the ring and actually protects Cody even though he won. But that'd be kind of strange, so I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to keep Cena heel. And there even could be two different ways of going. There could be Triple H could literally be in the back and say, we're going to do one of two things. If the crowd completely cheers for Cena or is heavily in favor of John Cena tonight out of nowhere, we're actually going to flip Cena at the end back to face. And he's going to actually come back to help Cody. And he's going to flip tonight already. And whether Cena wins or loses, he's going to flip and be with Cody and then put Cody over in the end. And then and stand up to The Rock and take everything back and go back to being face Cena. But if the crowd is pretty much as expected and most people are cheering for Cody and things are, pretty mixed or whatever, then you could go the other way. Right? And we could literally decide this on the fly if they wanted to, but plan for both. And maybe they want the crowd to be the reason why they went one way or the other. They could do that. And I think that would be smart to maybe do that, unless they have something definitively planned, which is probably what they do. They have something definitively planned and a way they want to go, which they probably have. This is probably the truth. The actual truth is probably that they have a definitive way they want to go. They have it all planned out till John Cena's retirement. And they're going this way regardless anyway, so we'll see what happens. That's more likely what they're doing because that's the more professional way to go about it, and that's the way that I would think that they would want to do it. They wouldn't want to roll the dice with an A or B option on a fly in the night. But yeah, I don't know. Pretty good stuff. Cena loses, Rock and everyone comes out to jump Cody, Lesnar returns. Cena loses, Rock and everyone comes out to jump Cody, and then Lesnar returns. I don't know, maybe, man, but they are really trying hard to tell us the Brock Lesnar's not involved, though. They're really trying to keep Brock Lesnar out of the equation. What if Brock is part of the Rock's group? That maybe could happen. Turpa, what's up, dude? Talking about John Cena in 2025 is hilarious. I guess so. It just shows they haven't gotten anywhere. Yeah, I mean, we're talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin as well. I mean, that's, Cody Rhodes has been really great, but, Roman Reigns for a second was what was a big, an over guy, but the people who are over now in the company remind me of Diesel and Bret the Hitman Hart. They're the guy and they're over with the crowd, but it's not at the level of Hulk Hogan or Stone Cold or The Rock. But it is at a big level, right? Cody Rhodes is over in a huge way. Cody Rhodes is over to me like how Bret Hart was over, or Shawn Michaels, or maybe even a little bit above that in some ways. But and maybe he's getting to the level of somebody like that in a way. I mean, the crowd response is full on. The crowd response is no doubt there for Cody Rhodes. But they're not transcending the company and bringing in these numbers like a Hulk Hogan or a John Cena or a Stone Cold, right? Those are the three biggest names. When you think of people that these people brought in millions of new viewers. Well, that's Hulk Hogan. That is Stone Cold Steve Austin. And that is John Cena. Those three guys. And I know that The Rock is on there too, but The Rock, in some weird way, The Rock ended up getting big after Stone Cold had already gotten big and brought in those people. So The Rock was kind of there riding the wave already, unfortunately for The Rock. I think it's very possible that if Stone Cold Steve Austin didn't exist, that The Rock, if the Attitude Era was still a thing, The Rock could have, sort of done that in a smaller way maybe. But it's weird to think that The Rock isn't on that three-man list, but The Rock is some kind of weird, in-between or something. Do you know what I'm saying? The Rock became the hottest thing from around, 1999, late 99 to 2002. The Rock was huge, right? But it was already big at that time. The Rock is somebody who maybe he didn't bring in the millions to start, but he is somebody that helped cultivate and run the millions, no doubt about it. He's the guy that he became the most popular wrestler at some point. Around 2000, 2001, The Rock became the most popular wrestler for a little while, over Stone Cold. And then, but as far as somebody who launches the company with millions of new viewers and they're watching because of this person, it's Stone Cold, it's Hulk Hogan, and it's John Cena. And I think that The Rock is some right below that. So if Stone Cold, Hulk Hogan, and John Cena are all A+, The Rock is an A. And Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart are A-, right? And I love Shawn Michaels. He's my favorite wrestler of all time. And Bret Hart is as well. Those two, if I were to pick wrestlers, I wouldn't have John Cena on my list. I would have Stone Cold, The Rock. I would have Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, The Rock, The Undertaker. But I don't even put The Rock on my list that much because The Rock was one of the best promos and entertainers ever. And I loved him. But as far as in the ring wrestling matches, I don't remember a lot of the wrestling matches The Rock has really. Because he sort of just kicked and did at one point he finished people with an elbow for 2 years. I thought that was retarded. And I know that Hulk Hogan had the leg drop and that was kind of dumb too, but I don't know, the elbow was worse to me for some reason. But The Rock, man, he was big, but man, Hulk Hogan cultivating and creating those millions of people for 10 years in the WWE, that's massive. It's never been done. Except for John Cena. So Hulk Hogan created millions and millions of people who watched him for about 10 years in the WWE. It was an unbelievable run. 9 years, really. And Stone Cold Steve Austin did it for about maybe about 4 years. For about 4 to 5 years, Stone Cold Steve Austin grew slowly and then maintained millions of people that showed up. And then they hit a point in 1998, 1999, where WWE was at the highest it ever was and wrestling ever was ever. Even maybe beating out the 80s wrestling period. So Stone Cold Steve Austin, for a short-term megastar, it's the biggest ever. Hulk Hogan, for the longevity of 10 years, is one of the biggest ever. John Cena basically rivals Hulk Hogan in that manner. There were about 3.5 million people watching. The audience shrunk down from 7 million to 3 million. And then John Cena arrived, and the audience shot back up to like 5 or 6 million. So they're all unique in a different way, but they're all the ones that injected adrenaline, you could call it, into the WWE. They're all mega stars that ejected the WWE with a superstar, super like adrenaline rush, like success. Without Hulk Hogan, we're not here right now. Without Stone Cold Steve Austin, we might not be here right now, and WCW won. And without John Cena, the WWE's value may have dropped and dropped and dropped, and it may never have really recovered. I don't know. So, there you go. I don't think HBK is an A+ because he did not draw the way that Hogan and Stone Cold and people like that drew. But HBK is my favorite wrestler of all time. He, as far as an in-ring wrestler, HBK is an A+. And that's why, like, I would never give that rating to, like, somebody like Kenny Omega. Like, so far. Listen, Kenny Omega is wild in the ring like a video game, and he's awesome and crazy and shit like that. I would give Kenny Omega, like, an A- or a B+. Because and that's a great score. I think Kenny Omega's entrance music, at least his old one, and his presentation, and then when he goes in there and has this, like, video game type of match, I think Kenny Omega's whole package, I give him a B+, and I like him. I like him. But Shawn Michaels went out there and had these unforgettable stories and matches and moments and charisma and way about things psychology-wise in matches. Not just doing the flips and the dives and the springboards and all that stuff. It's so much more than that, right? He had an element of storytelling and charisma that Kenny Omega doesn't have, in my opinion. Not even close. Or not close, but not really at all, right? So, for those reasons, Shawn Michaels in the ring as a performer in the ring, and then the sexy boy dance down to the ring and the pyro and the charisma, getting on the microphone in his best days. Shawn wasn't the greatest on the microphone, but when Shawn Michaels got on the microphone in the heel days of DX and before and around those times, the Heartbreak Kid's gonna go out. Like, you were like, hell yeah. Shawn had an 8 out of 10 promo back in the day in the Attitude Era. You know, I think it slowed down to a 7 when he got older and he got more like, well, I got to be kind of cool. You know, it wasn't as good. But I would give Shawn Michaels, yeah, he's an A+ in the ring. But overall, as a wrestler, if you're including like what their impact on wrestling is and all those other things, I would give him an A- or an A because, well, what the fuck is Hulk Hogan then? You know what I mean? As far as impact on the business, you know, and impact on that. You know, but Hulk Hogan in the ring, you know, Shawn Michaels is better to me in the ring for sure. But Hogan, you know, did a story in the ring, but all the matches were like the same for the most part. You know, Triple H, a lot of the matches are the same, but they're better than Hogan's. Hogan's, almost all the matches are the same. Shawn Michaels had this variety of unpredictability and creativity in the ring, but it wasn't like a video game stupid. It was like a very smart, well thought out, and maybe spontaneous, but painting with luck. I don't know what you call it. It's not luck, but it's, you know, I mean, the guy would get creative, and most of the creativity paid off. So I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but like, I get what you're saying, though. You got to talk about Mark Henry thing. You got busy and didn't talk about it the other night. Oh, the Mark Henry thing, like what when Mark Henry was crapping on AEW, or said he would like crap on them or sue them or something. I don't know. He said some crazy like that. I heard. I don't remember. Is that what you're talking about? Lincoln did the favor to John Wilkes for John Wilkes Booth. That's crazy. Suburban Cowboy. What's up, man? Kenny is like RVD with a bigger cult following. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like that. I mean, I would even... Yeah, it's kind of like that. I guess he is kind of like that. Kenny Omega is kind of like, yeah, like RVD or Jerry Lynn or something like that. It's like they really are good, you know, but even RVD, like, I think had more of a predictable flow in his matches. But yeah, I could see that for sure. And, you know, Eddie Guerrero as well. I think Eddie Guerrero, there's a little bit of... Kenny Omega has a little hint of RVD and Eddie Guerrero in there a little bit. And so... But Eddie Guerrero is better. You know, Eddie Guerrero was better, you know, in my opinion. You know, Eddie Guerrero was wild out there. And you know, I didn't like them as much as Shawn Michaels either, because I think Shawn Michaels' character, charisma, and like he was more memorable than anyone. But Eddie Guerrero is right there. And RVD is right behind that. And maybe Kenny Omega would be in there somewhere as well. Mark Henry's son is signed to WWE. Just say you want to blow HBK. Okay. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's true. Yeah, so I mean, you know. Well, Danielson, you're so close to being timed out, bro. You should have your legs broken for mentioning Denise Salad Tosser whore bag. You should have your legs broken. Short hair Eddie Guerrero is goated. Really? Could be another Rock Hogan. I mean, it could be, but I don't know. People are saying that, but that's very predictable now. The fact that now people are like constantly predicting that and mentioning it kind of ruins it. So now it probably won't be, you know? Because the thing about the Rock Hogan thing was they had an idea that might happen, and then it did, but crazily. I feel like people are like playing into that happening now. FTR got suspended on AEW. I heard it's because they bought too many rainbow flags. WWE NXT viewership decreased on April 15th. The demo also dropped. Bad news for NXT. Tony Khan was like showing off another belt the other day. I don't even know if that's a real AEW belt or that's just some fan belt they've made. I don't even know what that is. But Tony Khan is ridiculous. We're kidding, Danielson. It's okay. Yeah, Tony Khan. They need to stop with the belts. There's too many belts. Fucking stop it. AEW has way too many belts. You could argue WWE now has too many belts. You know, there's too many belts everywhere. But AEW is the worst. The WWE women's division, all they need is tag team titles, a women's championship, and a mid-card title. That's it. 3 belts for the women. That's all you need, and you're good to go. The only people that keep making belts are people that need to appease certain people so they don't get pissed off at you. That's why Tony Khan has so many belts, because he's afraid of somebody yelling at him that they're not somebody. So, you know, Tony Khan makes 1 million belts because he's afraid to say no to people. So, unbelievable. the Trios Championship is so ridiculous. They should have a Trios. Ring of Honor can have a Trios Championship. AEW does not need a Trios Championship. Like, you don't need that. It's ridiculous. There's too many things. Got a sound clip of Triple H. Guys, if you want to donate, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. Streamlabs is up there. Your support makes me hard and helps keep me alive. So drop it if you guys want to support the show. The WrestleMania, we will do a live stream during all of WrestleMania Night 1 if you want, if we hit the goal. We're at 6% right now, so it's not looking great. The goal will end Saturday morning or Friday night. We'll make it end Friday night, actually. But we do have a clip that was sent to me. Let's hear it. It's Triple H, actually. And it's Peter Rosenturd, I think. So, oh boy, roll your eyes now.
This will sound offensive. Every critic that is out there, I wish I could...
Get ready to listen to what Triple H is about to say. All you critics, do you guys remember what I was saying about Triple H earlier and what he would say to all this type of stuff? People bitching about this, that, and the other thing? Yep, well, here it comes.
This will sound offensive. Every critic that is out there, I wish I could tell people, off being a critic. Be a fan. Go watch this and be a fan. If I tell you go to the movies and watch this movie.
He's kind of right, and I totally get it, but I make a living off of criticizing the show. You know, which it is a curse. I agree, Triple H. It's kind of a curse. I wish I spent most of my day working a job and just checking out wrestling once in a while and then just going with it and having fun and whatever. And yeah, maybe I'll think like that wasn't the greatest, but whatever. In the end, who cares? I'm going to keep watching and see what happens. But I can't do that because I don't know if... I think that there's people that make a living being a critic. And then what it is there's a large amount of thousands of other people that follow those critics and they belong to that sort of area. And so there's a following of people that criticize wrestling. And a lot of the fans of those shows, they enjoy engaging in the criticism and the critique. So I think that's what Triple H is talking about here. He's not necessarily talking about Joe Cronin show. He's talking more about all the people that listen to Joe Cronin show, and they want to, give those opinions too. I'm assuming. Because, obviously, there's only like 500 critics out there. There's like 500 somewhat notable critics out there, right? Well, that's only 500 people. Who gives a shit? But I think Triple H is more concerned with maybe the 500,000 people who consume that content. I think that's what he's talking about.
Man. Go watch this and be a fan. If I tell you go to the movies and watch this movie, I saw it's really good, and you just go to the movie as a fan, you watch the movie, you have one opinion. If I tell you, hey, go see this movie, but can you give me a one-page detail, like things on what you liked, what you didn't like, and if it worked for you or didn't work for you. You watch it totally differently. Right? You watch the product totally differently. It ruins it for people. The world was so much better when nobody knew. This will sound offensive.
Then why do you keep telling everybody? What the fuck is Triple H talking about there? Triple H is the one that keeps coming out after the fucking shows. I'm sorry, I gotta be honest. Triple H, dude. I agree with you, Triple H. I agree with you, buddy. I love you, and I agree with you. But, dude, you come out after the show's over and talk about the guy's fucking heel turn. Well, we wanted Cena to appear this way and that, and we wanted them to... You're playing into the whole fucking thing. You're not just playing into it. You're gaslighting it. You're out there every single time WrestleMania or whatever ends, and you go, well, what we wanted to do was tell the story of this. That is crazy that Triple H is wondering about this. You are playing into that. If you don't like the critics and the fact that, man, it was better when people didn't know, then what the fuck are you doing going out on press conferences in the middle of the actual story and saying, well, Rock wanted to go heel, so he did, and then we did this, and here's what else is happening, and you're in for a ride, it's going to be crazy, and Dwayne's going to come out later. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? So this whole thing right here is a fucking gaslight from Triple H. Are you fucking kidding me, Triple H? He's trying to kill me before WrestleMania. That's what this is. Triple H is trying to kill Joe Cronin before WrestleMania happens by coming out here and going, man, things were better when people didn't know things and critics are crazy. But I'm going to come out and tell you it's all fake and here's why in the middle of the fucking stories.
Offensive. Every critic that is out there. I wish I could tell people off being a critic.
I wish I could tell you to stop fucking breaking the fourth wall in the middle of the fucking road to WrestleMania. That's what I'd like to tell you, Triple H. What the fuck are you doing? This is fucking crazy. This has got to be a joke.
You watch it totally differently.
He's talking to Peter Rosenturd. That guy's a joke too. So, I mean,
right? You watch the product totally different.
This is why Triple H would never put me on commentary, because he probably wants to kill me, even though we're both from New Hampshire and shit. Come on. Or Connecticut. I don't know, whatever.
It ruins it for people. The world was so much better when nobody knew. And this will sound offensive.
That's crazy. That is so weird. Like, that is so... This is the curtain call guy. Like, Triple H has been fucking this up since the fucking beginning of time. Hey guys, let's go out and hug each other in the middle of the ring and just fuck kayfabe. Hey, I'm going to go out in the press conference and tell everyone about how the work happened and how, and fuck over the whole story. But then I'm also going to go out and interview and say, what the hell's going on in the world now? I wish when it used to be people just enjoyed the show. Oh my God, bro. You cannot make this shit up. I mean, that is fucking crazy. That is so crazy what Triple H just said, while being the embodiment of the, hey, people know this is not real. They know it's a work. Which one is it, dude? Oh, God, I love Triple H so, man. He's so much better, though. Yeah, I love Triple H. I'm a stupid YouTube wrestling mark. That's wild. Triple ego? Oh, my God, what the fuck? I love Triple H, though. Triple H shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. What? No, that's crazy. Anybody who says Triple H shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame or Triple H put himself in the Hall of Fame, go fuck yourself. I'm sorry. That's just fuck off with that. That is so retarded. I don't care oh my God, bro. I'm not even going to do it. I'm not even going to flip out over that. Triple H is a first ballot Hall of Famer. The guy should have already been in the Hall of Fame, you could argue. So many other people have gone into the Hall of Fame before Triple H. That's not even, I won't even entertain that. That is crazy talk. Triple H deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. He's going in right now, and he deserves it, and that's fucking awesome. There is no chance in hell that I don't fight you on that. There's no way. Triple H should be in the Hall of Fame, and he could have been in years ago. And I'm sure that people did it over his shoulder, type of thing. Like, nope, you're going in. And we all agreed to it. So suck it up. And good. Because he should be in the Hall of Fame. People that say Triple H shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, or anybody who complains that, well, what's he going to do? Never be in the Hall of Fame until he has nothing to do with WWE? He might be in the WWE 20 more years until he's dead. Triple H may live 30 years more, and he'll be in WWE. When is he not? When is he supposed to do it? It's, come on. Undertaker's in there. Shawn Michaels is in there. Stone Cold's in there. The Rock is in there. I believe The Rock is in, right? Is The Rock in? How do I not know this? The Rock's in the Hall of Fame, right? Am I crazy? Is he not in the Hall of Fame? I don't think The Rock is, right? Maybe The Rock is not in the Hall of Fame. Let me go look up The Rock. Yeah, The Rock's not in, right? The Rock inducted his father in, But I don't think The Rock is in. So maybe you can make an argument there The Rock isn't in, but Triple H started his career before The Rock, and Triple H is older than The Rock. Let me go look it up. I don't think The Rock is in. Yeah, Dwayne The Rock Johnson is not in the WWE Hall of Fame. Right. That's what I thought. Okay, so The Rock isn't in. But that's it. Undertaker's in, Shawn Michaels in, Stone Cold's in, Bret Hart's in. The Rock comes from that. I mean, Triple H comes from that era, right? Triple H was in the WWE and in WCW before The Rock was in WWE. You know, Triple H, I believe, has 5 to 6 years. Yeah, I think 6 years on The Rock. I think Triple H had been wrestling professionally on TV 5 or 6 years, I think, before The Rock started. So, yeah, so because someone made that argument, they were like, well, The Rock's not in, so that shows you right there. Well, that doesn't make sense. Isn't The Rock younger than Triple H? The Rock is 52 years old. Triple H is 55 years old. So Triple H is 3 years older than The Rock, and Triple H, I believe, was wrestling 5 years before The Rock, I think, right? So by those stats of what we just said, that means that you can expect The Rock to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in the next 5 years. In the next 5 years, The Rock is going to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame based on those numbers. But you can make an argument that The Rock will definitely be inducted in the next 3 years. So I think it's highly likely that The Rock is inducted in the next 3 years.
The Rock isn't in the Hall of Fame. Edge is in, and Triple H is technically in because of DX.
Okay, that's true, Broken Lion. That's a good point. Broken Lion. But I think it's important to Triple H that he be inducted by himself, himself only, as a solo act. Hey, Broken Lion, thank you so much for the $5 and becoming a $5 shit bum. What up, Broken Lion? And oh, freaking G of this channel. Broken Lion, love you, brother. Broken Lion, thank you. So, yeah. So good. Triple H is in. There you go. Yeah, you may get some more Froggy this weekend during WrestleMania, Shattered Sun. Of course, the Bullfrog did return on monetized this 500. A lot of people had a lot of fun with that. Thank you. Whatever happened to Soundwave 92? I miss that guy. I really wonder what happened to him. Like, he was a wicked cool dude. I was hoping one day I was going to catch up with him again at another show or something someday, because he was a funny little guy. He was a funny little guy. Love Soundwave 92. But yeah, I haven't seen him in so long. I haven't seen him in the chats. I feel like I haven't seen him in forever. I'm concerned about Soundwave 92. The other thing is, like, I think I emailed him too to be like, hey man, what's been up? I don't know. I wonder about so many people, man. The strongest evidence yet of life on another planet found by the Webb telescope. BBC News, which you can take them with a grain of fucking bullshit. Evidence far away world orbiting another star may be home to life. This is the second and more promising time chemicals associated with life have been detected in a planet's atmosphere. So K218b is 2.5 times the size of Earth and is 700 trillion miles away from us. That's pretty crazy. They were surprised by how much gas was apparently detected during a single observation window. Pretty crazy. In the future, we're probably going to send a spacecraft, piloted by robots out into space with a massive telescope on it. You know what I mean? And we're going to be able to sort of control that telescope into space, right? So it's going to go beyond our solar system eventually, and then it's going to drop little satellite buoys on the back, right? So every so many 100,000 miles, it's going to drop a buoy and like a chain, like two buoys, and it will relay information back to Earth, and it will probably take us 10, 20 days to get the information back at some point, and then they'll be able to sort of tell it things and make it maneuver and look around, and I would believe the telescope would do a hell of a job of looking around, and maybe it would make it to outside of our solar system towards Pluto or outside that area. I can only imagine what they'd probably do with something like that, probably in the next 30 years, maybe. And they would have to build this just massively huge telescope that they put on the spacecraft. And then it becomes a living thing when it hits some kind of planet thing and it grows and it's an AI intelligence expands and it becomes a living space telescope entity. And then you get Star Trek the motion picture all over again. Star Trek, the first Star Trek movie really is the only real Star Trek movie. It's really, when I watch it, I'm like, this thing was such a masterpiece for 1970 or whatever it was. It's crazy. Although it's the 70s, but the level that they went to on that movie is wild. They never went to that really level again until the J.J. Abrams movies. But those movies were very action stupid, Transformers in space stupid. The court have spelled out what your politicians are too scared to say. I don't know what that is. I'm not going to read that. I'm not going to get into politics. I don't want to do that. I was looking for more wrestling news, but yeah, I don't see anything right now that really captivates me. But Karrion Kross, man, Karrion Kross and his girl, holy shit, Scarlett. Wow. It's amazing what Scarlett looks like. It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe what she looks like. That may be the hottest woman I've ever seen in wrestling. Like above Sunny and above Sable at a point and anybody really. That chick is just underutilized. Like, it's crazy how underutilized she is. Yeah, I don't see
Médité. Et la cour lui a donné 25 ans.
That's Canadians talking in French to each other. I don't know what that is. Ricochet says WWE wanted him to re-sign, but he denied. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. According to Sportskeeda. And I guess it's according to Ricochet because he tweeted it out. They wanted me to re-sign. I said no. Shit bomb. Well, he's in a better situation now.
Do you think the nation should be in Hall of Fame, or would they wait until The Rock's in?
Yeah, I mean, don't you think, Broken Lion, that it's kind of like how Triple H is in? You know what I mean? Like D-Generation X went in before Triple H, and now Triple H is going in. But it would feel really weird to put the Nation of Domination in before The Rock. So I do agree that I think that The Rock should go in. And then, honestly, dude, I might even do them both on the same night. What's wrong with doing the Nation of Domination and The Rock on the same night? That would be kind of cool. But, I mean, you can't, because then The Rock has to come out for the Nation thing. And, I don't know. I mean, what would be kind of cool is if they put the Nation of Domination in and The Rock goes in and they all go in, but The Rock doesn't come out. But that's why you got to separate it. So you can't do it. I got to take that off the table. But I would say that you put The Rock in, and then maybe the next year or the year after you put the Nation of Domination in. But I think they both, Nation of Domination is, it's not as big as DX, right? Like, I don't even know if you put the Nation in, to be honest. The Nation of Domination, to me, it's so memorable that's why I would put the Nation of Domination in. It's so memorable, and it was so impactful on The Rock's career that I would put them in for those reasons. But they're not on the level of DX or NWO or something like that, for sure, right? Not at all. Like, it was a thing that really didn't really work that well. but served a good purpose for its time. And The Rock became so big that he basically destroyed the group by The Rock becoming The Rock. Nation of Domination came out with Farouk, those two nerdy white guys who were rapping, and Clarence Thomas or something, and all these other people. And it was kind of a weird group, a political statement too. You could almost call it like it was kind of like the Black Panthers of the WWE. And, you know, in the Black Panther movement, you had white people supporting the Black Panthers in a lot of places. And that's what it was kind of like. It was kind of like Black Panthers, BLM type of thing for the time. And then when The Rock joined the group, it kind of became more about, man, The Rock is outshining the leader of the Nation of Domination. But The Rock brought a fun tone to the group. The Rock didn't seem to care about the cause. You know what I'm saying? The Rock was in it to make money and be rich, and he's a star. And that came across in the group too, which is amazing, because Farouk is so serious about, man, we got to do this thing for us, for the people, for the blah blah blah. And Farouk is this serious militant leader of the Nation of Domination, and we're going to take over the World Wrestling Federation, you know, and we're going to have all our black brothers, you know, become champions, and we're going to show this racist company and all that type of thing. That was sort of the undertones of what, you know, they said it, but not a lot. But that was the undertone of what the Nation of Domination was. And, you know, with it being so serious, but when they put The Rock in the group, they didn't realize that The Rock's charisma was going to just take over everything. And The Rock was more concerned about utilizing the group so he could become a champion because he's a diva. You know, and so the group became something else. And then the group obviously fell apart once The Rock, you know, took out Farouk and then led the group. And then eventually The Rock became too big for the group. So the Nation of Domination was a vital component to The Rock. You know, it was an okay group and an okay idea that's memorable, that will always be remembered, I think, by that generation. But
shit bomb.
But it really propelled The Rock.
Now that I think about it, would they not do it because of Owen Hart?
No, I think they would do it. You know, they would probably put, I don't know if they would put Owen in it, or they would leave him off, or whatever. Broken Lion, thank you for the $5 and becoming a $5 shit bum. No, they could do it and leave Owen out of it. I mean, even when they do the induction, are they gonna put those two white rappers in it? Are they gonna put Clarence Thomas in it? Are they gonna put all those people in it? I doubt it. I bet you they would just do The Godfather and D'Lo Brown and Farouk and The Rock. You know, I think that they would do. I don't even think they would include all those other people. Didn't they have Chains or Crush or somebody too? They had one of the guys that would go on to be the Disciples of Apocalypse. I mean, how funny was that era, right? You had the Hispanic group, Los Paricuas, and then you had the not the Headbangers, but the Disciples of Apocalypse. So you had the white racist biker gang, right? You had the Latino stabbing, you know, MS-13 gang, and you had the black, you know, militant blacks, you know, who are willing to hurt people because they're not getting their fair share, they say. Like, it was the biggest race war that wasn't called a race war you've ever seen on TV at the time. And they kept making them all feud with each other. It was like, man, oh my God, the Los Paricuas just broke in to the Disciples of Apocalypse's locker room, and here comes the Nation of Domination. Like, it was a race war. I mean, that's what they were doing. It was fucking hilarious. I mean, we all enjoyed that. Everybody loved that. That was back when, like, you could do that stuff. And by the way, the fact that you could do that stuff back then, it shows you how much better we were as a society than we are now. Now everybody would be like, oh my God, this is so bad. No, it's funny. We're taking the stereotypes and the worst of all of us and putting them in feuds against each other. It's fucking funny. It's like a prison war. You know what I mean? Like, everybody loved it. Everybody did. We loved it. We all did. All my friends at school loved it. We all sat around. They eventually got the Asian gang in there too. They got the Japanese fucking gang in there too. They were missing the Chinese gang. They should have had a Chinese gang, but they had the Japanese one. KANE. KANE got involved too. You know? Taka Michinoku and like Hiritatsu and all those guys and whatever else. They were all involved. The Truth Commission were the militant whites. Yeah, you're probably right. I think that the Disciples of Apocalypse, I think, were supposed to be the biker gang, you know, those type of guys. Nobody ever came out and said it, right, that they were actually like those people, but they sort of, you could imagine if they were. Broken Lion, thank you again for the $5, man. KANE, yeah. Those factions would be considered woke in 2025. Yeah, I mean, they would, but I think they wouldn't work because they would be considered racist. Like, the woke people of 2025 would consider those groups to be racist nowadays. And then other people would consider to them to be woke. So, yeah, you'd have everybody hating them, you know, nowadays. That's how much better of a society we were back then. We just accepted, hey, man, there's groups of our race that are this way. Everybody did. And it was funny and it was fun. And it was kind of ridiculous, but, you know, you just went along with it. It was funny. Bam Bam Bigelow in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, he should be if he's not. I guess he's not. That's pretty, yeah, I mean, you know, he didn't have the career that, you know, Triple H had, but he should be probably there. The Big Boss Man and Bam Bam Bigelow are some of the best big guys, you know. Bam Bam Bigelow was more athletic than the Big Boss Man. When Ahmed was trying Farouk to be the first black heavyweight champion, but Farouk already did that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, at least in WCW. Ahmed Johnson was a very stiff, unpredictable kind of worker. You know, I don't think he took care of people quite enough, and that's why they didn't exactly like him. But, I mean, you know, people thought that about Vader. Ahmed Johnson was kind of like that Vader version. Maybe Vader got more leeway because he was white. I don't know. But maybe Vader got more leeway because he had already made a name for himself too, so it could be that as well. And when Vader hurt you, it was like he would potato you. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But when Ahmed Johnson could hurt you, it's like he was picking you up and putting you down on your neck. So I think that's maybe why Ahmed Johnson gets so, you know, crapped on more, you know. Right to censor. That right to censor was like the Karens of nowadays, yeah. I mean, I think right to censor at the time could have been seen more of like a Christian group. But nowadays, right to censor is more of the woke people, more of the left-wing liberals. But right to censor back in the day was more of the sort of Christian right, you know. So it's funny how that works. You know, back in the 2000s, right to censor is more of a right-wing Christian type of woke or Christian censorship. Those type of people. Whereas nowadays, right to censor would be seen more of like a liberal Karen group. Because the liberal Karens are the people that are also protesting like Elon Musk, Teslas, and stuff like that. They're these old bimbo bitches that are out there like they're the Karens. They're Karens, right? These old people who don't like Tesla now. They're Karens, and they would censor you over these things because they're idiots. But back in the day, in the 2000s, it was early 2000s, that was more of a right Christian thing. But yeah, either way, same thing. Crazy white people. Although The Godfather was in right to censor, and really right to censor would take anybody, you know, as long as you wanted to, you know, censor people. And so that, to me, was more the Christian right. Whereas now it's more of the censor Karen left. But you get Karens on both sides of the left and right. You know, Karens kind of go either way, unfortunately for all of us. Interesting how that is. But I think we're probably going to wrap it up, guys. I suppose it's midnight. I've seen quite a few Cybertrucks. There was a point in time where I think every day I saw a Cybertruck, and I was convinced it was the same guy, but it wasn't. Like, it was just like, you know, I see Cybertrucks pretty regularly. I see them. I'd say about every week I see a Cybertruck. You know, and I'm in Massachusetts. You know, but a lot of these people that bought them are, you know, everybody buys them. You know what I mean? Everybody from you know, left-wing liberal people buy them, and people that want to save the environment, they buy them. They got money. You know, guys who've got money that are right-wing type of guys buy them too. Everybody, you know, it's a mix of people that buy them. That's why it's too bad when people think they want to tear apart someone's Cybertruck because of whatever the fuck. It's like, that's stupid as shit. First of all, you're probably tearing apart a truck from a person who literally agrees with you. And second of all, you're a criminal if you do that. But yeah, it's so weird. No normal human being attacks somebody's car for that. You're a low IQ moron person if you do that. What about cyber babes? I don't know what that is, but it sounds hot. I'm into it. I'll take some cyber babes. But yeah, I suppose we should wrap it up. I don't care what other people drive. I just don't drive like an asshole. Yeah, exactly. Man, I would take a Cybertruck now in a heartbeat. I never thought I would buy an electric car, and obviously I wouldn't, but someone gave it to me, I'd be all in. Hell yeah, I'll take it. I would take anything. I got to figure out at some point someday my kid's going to need help with a car. It's like, I don't even know how I'm going to prepare for all that stuff. I can't even fucking get my car work, you know, you know, it's like, Jesus, I need a third job. How are we going to live in this world? You know? I don't know. I have no idea. And my taxes keep going up because I can't pay the minimal fucking charges. Ugh. Like, I literally need Trump to come out and say the IRS is done, and if you owe back taxes, they're done. That's what I need Trump to do. Imagine that. If that happened, my life has changed. Oh, boy. But, you know, it's not all about me. It's not about, you know, I hope they do things that help only me, you know, so I'm not going to be selfish like that, but that would be crazy if they came out and said that. Or even if they just erased it. They said, anybody that owes anything, never mind. It's erased. Start over. And also, you know, taxes are going to be cut in half now, and if you owe anything, you don't anymore. That would be crazy. And there's no tax on tips. So, oh, that'd be so wild. My whole life would change. But, you know, you can't hope for somebody else to save you. You got to save yourself because, yeah, you can't count on someone else saving you. You got to hope that you can save you. You can't hope the government comes and saves you. All right, boys and girls, I suppose that's it. I'll catch you. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. You'll know as much as I do, but maybe tomorrow you'll see me. But certainly Friday night after SmackDown, the WrestleMania predictions live right here on the Joe Crone Show. It's going to be a Friday night bash here on the stream, so be here for that.
Shit bomb.
Oh shit, we got more coming in.
The build for the Cody match sucks. Only reason I'm excited for it because it's Cena last year and I was a Cena mark as a kind I like Cody.
There you go. Broken line. I pretty much agree with you. The build for Cody match sucks. Yeah, it started out pretty decent, like it was going to be awesome, and then it kind of went, you know? Man, thank you so much, Broken Lion. It is great to hear you, man. Broken Lion, I hope you're here Friday night, dude. You should call up one night, too, Friday or Saturday or something. I miss you, dude. I want to talk. I want to know how you've been. I love you, dude. It's great to hear from you. I'm so glad that you're still rocking around. You're a big fucking OG of this show. Like, I mark out when I see you. Broken Lion is the man. Yeah, I agree with him, though. I agree with Broken Lion. We'll listen to a cover of Save Yourself. We'll see you guys Friday night. And maybe tomorrow, too. Think about becoming a patron, guys. We could use you big time on Patreon. Please do. We need you.
Suffered such abuse, but I am not your savior. I am just as fucked as you. I cannot save you. I can't even save myself. So just save yourself. Please don't take pity on me. 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 My soul has been a nightmare. My soul is fractured to the